Here we go. It is the Monday night family show. Look at this. We are live. We are here. We are with you. Happy Monday evening to the North American world and the pigeon world and the people all around the world. This show is brought to you by Duvel, the strong beer, but it's Belgian strong blonde. Don't we all like a Belgian strong blonde? Ricky, back to you.
There's someone out front.
Somebody out front looking
Hey,
for
how
it.
you doing? Hope everything's going good. I've been very busy here this evening, selling eggs, having people coming over visiting for to see the pigeons, and I just start to show up, and the phone rings and cuts out, and then I got a feeling the dog starts barking. There could be someone out front.
You want to go check the door,
So
Ricky?
you know what I mean? It's always like at the wrong time. You have this one, something happens like something small like this happens.
Well, it's just a small thing. It's just
But everything's going good.
we call this first world problems, Ricky. These are first world problems. You know?
Yeah, we got a bit of a cool day today. Um,
Hold on, Ricky. Ricky.
I hope all
Ricky.
the birds are sitting
Ricky.
tight on the young ones.
Ricky. Nobody on this show gives an SHI with a capital T about the weather in southern Ontario. It's not like you're in Miami where it's warm, you can go surfing and get some good chalupas or some good tacos or some good Caesar salad or something better than what the hell's in southern Ontario. Now, I'm going to tell everyone, if you want to
But
hear,
meanwhile, maybe down in Miami, the snakes are eating the young ones right out of the nest.
well, wait a minute. I don't give a shit about
They
the snake. I don't give a shit about the snakes eating the young ones in the nest. I'm talking about the weather. Now, if you guys want to check something out, go on and go on to Google or YouTube and type up the sounds of Belgian owls in the night. Great thing to listen to. But anyways, let's get to the lovely group of guests that we're going to have on this evening. And tonight's going to be a jam-packed evening. Before I say hello, for the people that like to copy and cut up my content, from the clothing to what we do, to even now taking my interviews and what I say and ask the breeder, they word for word copy it out because they're too lazy, they're useless, and they have no creativity. This isn't a rant. I just want to say to you, if you want to use our content, please get some nuts and give me a call and ask me. And if you have those nuts, you might get a treat. Brian Mansker, good evening. Howdy, howdy, ho, Brian. Hoffaloffler Farms, Hoffaloffler. You got your teams ready for Pioneer Village. Brian, you're not going to send one bird to the Pioneer Village. You're going to send a team of 6. I'm just letting you know that. Michael Peevler, he is on. He's late to the dance tonight. He's slow, but he's still here. Michael Peevler again says, good evening to all. So the one good thing about Michael Peevler is he will say hi to everyone, including us. Nice to see you on this afternoon, Mike. Mike Parrish, are your teams signed up for Pioneer One Loft? Guys, I hate begging. So I'm not going to beg. David Tracy, good to see you on. Thanks for signing up for the race. Michael Brown says, howdy. There's been an error occurred on Facebook. So if you are watching still, post in a comment on the Facebook. But getting back to my first, what was I going to say? First part of the show about copycatters. Well, we'll wait till we get a few more trolls on. Or not trolls, pigeon people, but the trolley people too, the ones that copy. Take a look. We paid in January. And we finally got it up. Thank God. Terry Gilmore finally got the message from the mothership. We sent him numerous emails, and today I had it. I had enough. I almost rode my head right through the glass door because the people weren't signing up because it didn't say 2024. So that's the list of the pigeon flyers with a bit of nuts that are going to come to the Pioneer Village. So I want to see this thing get filled up. get on there. If you're not on there, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you want easy races, completely easy, there's lots of them out there. Go on out. If you want a real pigeon race, come on down and try it out. That's our was 44 birds signed up. Let's see who has the cojones to fly in the village. I'm going to see how the comments are. Had a snake in the loft today, said Hoffaloffler Farms, because he's in Florida. Snakes are good in your loft. If you get snakes in your loft, the
Hey,
wires are
hold
this
on a
big.
minute. Hold on a minute. I'm talking about the winter weather, and if you've got youngsters and they're hatching or they're not covered properly when we get this cold weather, that's like having a snake in the loft. Now, the people in
Now,
Florida, they don't have this
Ricky,
problem, but they
Ricky,
do get a snake in the loft, and that's
Ricky,
that's what we're
Ricky,
talking about here.
Ricky,
I'm
Ricky.
talking about
I can't help pigeons that can't sit on the nest tight. I can't help it. I can't help that. I can't tell them
no,
to
but
sit on it.
no, I understand that, but all pigeons get off the nest if it's super cold and you got youngsters just feathering out. Those are the youngsters I'm worried about. And they get fret on the feathers from extreme cold. And I'm sure that, excuse me, what's his name in Florida said the snakes come in and take the youngsters right out of the nest.
You know, I don't understand it. A bathroom light that you put on in your bathroom at night. People invest in one.
Right.
Invest in one. Have it in
Mm-hmm.
on your loft at night. So your pairs, if they happen to get spooked off the loft, if they happen to, you don't have to worry because they can get back on the nest. Now, we were talking today to Dan Ragul there and Dirk Leakins. If a hen is an idiot and getting off the nest, if the cock is an idiot and getting off the nest, and they're real crazy, not a good sign. Not a good sign. You want calm pigeons. You can see when you start selecting for a certain quality, pigeons don't get off the nest anymore. Now, again, if you go into the loft like an idiot and you're loud and you're never the same and you're dressed differently and you're always acting different, your birds are going to be a little more tight. But I'm going to say, I can guarantee you, I guarantee you, I can go into a lot of lofts with a video camera and I don't see the poise and the control as I seen today. At Dirk Leakins, we did the loft tour today. You guys haven't seen it yet because I've been editing it. And Dan Rego from here in Belgium, 2 auctions that we got going. We got some more comments. Mike Vanderyak says, "You are like Don Cherry, often intimidated but never duplicated." In not intimidated. That word. My reading's not the best.
Whenever, okay, you're giving us a lesson. Whenever I go in my pigeon loft, I'm not kidding you. I let the birds know before I come in.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them I'm coming in. And
No,
then
no,
I go in and I
but
talk to them and they know it's me and everything is nice and calm and cool.
I'm just, I'm just,
And that's what you have to do. And I'm usually always wearing the same outfit that I
I
go in with day in and day out.
I,
Yeah,
I'm,
and
I'm, I'm talking about though.
birds know.
I'm talking about when you're pairing up young cocks and young hens, young new matings of young birds, right? Young pairs. Don't be
Yeah,
bothering them. Leave them be and let them go down. Let them sit on the eggs tight. When you go in, put your hand up to them. Let them hit you slowly. Move away. Walk away. Leave them. Go the next day. Let them beat you again off. And then slowly you take the eggs. Take your time. Don't go in like a raccoon. Wear the same clothes, whatever you want to do. Don't go in like a ding dong. I see a lot of people, they're walking fast, moving fast, talking loud. Now, besides that point, I did want to get to another point. There is a ding dong in Holland. And I'm not venting. This son of a bitch, he's lazy, he's a thief. He's taken a lot of people for now multiple years here of birds he's selling on his site, peddling off. He's not getting the birds sent to the countries they're supposed to go. He wants the credit. So, Daddy, me, I'm going to give him the credit. He can't come up with anything original, and he wants to be a star. So, we're going to give this ding dong in Holland, and he gets the floor. Anytime he wants to come on this show, he is welcome to come. I will go to his house, but I'm going to promise you, this man, he hides behind the keyboard. Watch his name, folks. Everything he does is he steals. He's a crook, he's a gypsy, and I hate to say it, he's a fucking pig. Are you ready? Oink, oink, pig, pig. This is a bastard. Here he is. Enjoy him. He is the pigeon boss. You see how he's got his face there? He's suckling from hardworking people. He takes your stuff that you do and he chops it up. He takes your articles and he rewrites them because the only thing he can do is write. He sells pigeons on his site. He calls himself the Pigeon Boss. He has Pigeon Boss merchandise. This guy is a clown, a gypsy, and one pig of a man. Actually, he's not a man. He's a goddamn pig. And, you know, the nice thing about this guy is when you confront him, just runs away. So we got to give him credit. Guys, go onto his page, buy some birds from him, and get completely burnt. Buy some of the clothing, whatever. And by the way, if you want to see the interviews that we do, chopped up and ripped apart and retyped out, this clown does it. He's from Holland. Unfortunately, there's no creativity for the pigeon. We're going to call him, he's not the pigeon boss, he's the pigeon fraud. Pigeon fraud. Now, every show from now on, we're going to bring him back up so you all know until he has the nuts to come on here. And I hope I get to see him at one of the shows because I'm going to interview him, eh? And you're going to watch him run. So, guys, watch out for this guy. If you get stuff from him, you won't get it. Ask Anders Brobeck. Ask a lot of people out there. Hey, he wants the credit. You can see him on that angle. See that angle he was on? Yeah, he's just stealing from hardworking people, which is pretty sad. So, guys, that's that. Now, let me get to the comments. I have to get the comments back up. Steve Collins, it's freezing a bit, Ryan. Okay, well, could be where you are. You may be out in your loft. Is it my phone or is In and Out on YouTube? It could be In and Out. Again, just the hotel I'm at. Sometimes it doesn't work the best. These hotels are all different. They changed to 5G, and there's not enough 5G towers. Anyways, Mike Green, he says hello. Hey guys, what did you think of the small talk today with Dan Rego? What a nice gentleman, a nice young man. You guys are going to see his loft tour this week. We've edited it. I wanted to post up both the auctions that are going before I move on. There's the first one up, Bosman and Leakins. Yes, guys, this is a family of pigeons that are excellent in middle distance, greater middle distance racing. This is, I'm almost going to say, a guaranteed pair. The amount of earnings these pigeons have made is simply second to none. I think this is the best loft tour I've ever done. I'm still editing it. It's going to come up this week. I'm going to give it to Leah so she finishes it off. But these two pigeons right here, the matched pair from Dirk Leakins, they are phenomenal. I'll bring them on here in a moment, but there's the match pair. I've never seen more aggressive pigeons in my life. I got to go to their loft today, watch them come from training. Oh, it was something to see. And the gentleman I was at later on this evening, Dan Rego, um, again, he gets pigeons from Dirk Leekens with super success. These two pigeons, again, are direct children. We don't want grandchildren and double grandchildren. If I see that kind of quality, I'm just not interested. But there is the match pair from Dan. Again, super pair of pigeons. And the great thing is about both of these guys, their birds mix very nicely. So, Ricky, I'm going to have a sip of my drink. I have some videoage I want to play today. Mike Parrish, same here. Well, hey guys, if it's in and out, you guys don't have to watch. I can cut this off quick. But thanks for letting me know. Like I said, sometimes the internet gods aren't going to be with us. Ricky, say something. I need help.
Okay, I want to say something to Mike Vanderyak, Mike. The clock that you donated to the Pioneer Club, Pioneer One Loft race. I believe it was 3 years ago. 100% it was 2 years ago, but I'm thinking it's 3. The clock, we haven't changed the battery in it yet. It's been outside, rain or shine, snow, below zero, 30 below zero. It's been out there in 90-degree heat, and the battery is still running, and the clock is still working perfect. I just want to thank Mike again for this clock. It really helps. It's good. I look from the kitchen window. I see what time it is. I'm sitting outside waiting for birds. I see the time. I'm just saying, what a great gift. And I think that Mike Vanderyak is probably shaking his head right now saying, I can't believe it. And I just want to say thank you very much. We really enjoy it. And a lot of people that come here, they see it and they enjoy it. It's a good product. I
Yeah.
never thought it
And
would
you know
be like
what?
that.
Hey guys, it's not a big investment. You can go to IKEA. You can get them. They got all different sizes, and I think that's where Mike got it. And nothing wrong with that. But get a clock on the outside of your loft. You will use it more than you think. I will say that is a good gift. Also, hopefully the signal's coming in a bit better. I'm going to post up a photo here of some feed. And this is a sneaky mix, a treat mix. And you got to look a little hard. You got to look. But this mix has been soaked, and you can see it has sprouts in it. You see there's some sprouts. Let's see if I get some on my finger. You see the seeds are sprouting. And this was at Anna Gochan's house. And every day with the youngsters that are weaned, one meal a day for these youngsters is this sprouting feed. It's a very small amount she feeds, but I am going to post this video up so you can see how she feeds. These youngsters just started to go out. This was a few weeks ago, so by now they're probably flying. But there's the sprouting feed. She wets it and puts it in a warm spot in the house, and within a few days, the feed starts to sprout. Here are the youngsters. Listen to her. Don't listen to us. Just listen to her. Very calm. Watch how she feeds them. And she's just giving a small amount. You see, she's got the drinkers on the outside in the section, just the same as the transporter. And she gives them a small amount every day. They get this. They get the greens, the fresh greens. Now, normally she sits with the pigeons. Obviously, she had guests there that day, so she couldn't do it. But she waited for a feeding. of this sprouting feed, and they eat it every day, just a bit.
See the good condition, the moving of the wings there?
Yeah.
And yeah, you see there, they're twizzling, they're feeling good, they're excited. Uh, every day they're getting this.
73.
These babies, yeah. He let them out
Yeah,
one time.
they're what a
Darkening
beautiful
is that
group.
too? The
But
Loft.
the consistency every day to make this, leaving no stone unturned, and again, getting feed to sprout. Learn how to sprout your grain. You're not going to be disappointed. That's some of it sprouted there, but every day, Ricky, back to you.
Yeah, very interesting. The birds look for these treats, and they learn to love their loft. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? More and more and more. It's communication with the birds. That's what that is. Keeping a close communication.
right. And reminder, when you're sprouting, okay, you wet the feed, shake it out into a tray, and put it in the warm part of your house for a few days. You got to have a few trays going, and it'll sprout. And then they have multiple trays set up, so every day the birds get a little bit of sprouted seed. Okay? You can ask Stephen Collins, he was there, he's seen it. And another thing, when you sprout the seeds, I want you to take the seed, put it in your mouth, and chew it. You know what you're going to taste? An explosion of sweetness. This is what the pigeons like. This is attention to detail. Jordan Polson, hello guys. How are you doing, Jordan? Mike Green, he is with us and he's on the road today. Mike, I wanted to thank you for tuning in today. I want to thank everybody who tuned in earlier with the questions for Dan, and he was really excited. Guys, the birds from Dan Rago, I'm going to tell you, this is the types of lofts you want. They're small lofts. I know he breeds 185 youngsters. You think that's a big loft? No, no, no. This is a loft that works year in, year out. They want a nice size old bird team, so they have to give themselves a good size young bird team. These are pigeons you want. They're not the name brands. They're not Coca-Cola. They're not Taco Bell. They're the small lofts with good result pigeons. Uh, Shane says, hey, Shane, don't miss out here. And please, guys, do not miss out on Bosman and Lincoln's. I'm going to show you a photo of impact. You guys talk about real money. You know the Hoosier? You can put the Hoosier, the Peach Classic, the Florida Pigeon Derby. What's the other one? You put them all together. Put them all together. And they still wouldn't have a $1.6 million first prize. But Bosman and Lincoln's, their pigeons produced the best pigeon of 10,000 pigeons. The best pigeon of 10,000 pigeons, 4 times 500 plus kilometers as a young bird. And the young bird was under, what did he say? Under 5 months old. I believe it was 5 months. It'll be in the interview and you'll hear it. But Shane, how's it going? Heather Green, how are you? Alan says your pigeons will be calmer if you water them. If you wait. Sorry, my reading. Your pigeons will be calmer if you wear the same footwear in the loft each day. Well, your pigeons will be calmer if you keep it the same. Now, if you wear something different every day and they get used to that, I guess that's the same. But I would just stick to the same sort of outfits. I mean, normally people put on the same kind of clothes to do yard work, or they put the same kind of clothes on to go to the beach. Right. So yeah, come up with an outfit. I think that's why you see a lot of these guys that wear the smocks. I'm not a smock kind of guy. I don't really like the look of it. It looks kind of whatever. But hey, that's why you seen pigeon guys wearing smocks because they were too lazy to change out of their
You
high
know,
dollar clothes.
I agree with what you say, and that's part of keeping a system. The system should always be the same. I have a little bit of problem in the summer when it gets warm, when I have to switch into my red shorts. Okay. Because I got a little bit of problem there with that. Okay. So first of all, what I do is before I start actually wearing my red shorts, I hang them outside the loft on a clothesline so the birds can see them. Then I put them on and away I go. I'm good for the summer. There's like a transition there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah. If you change your clothes, whatever. Yeah. As long as you're somewhat consistent, But, anyways, uh, getting back to that little bit of feeding tip there, see what seeds you can sprout and try it out. Now, you got to be a little patient, but they'll get onto it. Uh, and I've seen quite a few lofts that do this, but
You
not
know what?
everyone.
As well, the good feed will sprout. Now you could be behind feed that's not as good. Means it was over. What do they call it? Overcooked, over dried, and it won't sprout. It's
Wow.
not your fault. It could be the feed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
I,
feed will sprout.
right. And try it out and practice it a little bit. Don't worry. You're not going to hurt the birds. You're not going to hurt them. Sprout your seed and away you go. And if you want to know, she's using the Audi feed. That's the same as the same as the Van Robi's. The Versalaga will sprout. The buyers will sprout. Does every loft do it? No, but I see lofts that do it. And I think a lot of the time why certain lofts don't is I think it's a little extra work. I don't know if the pigeons just like it more. I don't know how much more nutrition it is, but it is fresh sprouts. It's very, very fresh. And when you eat it, when you put it in your mouth, you'll instantly taste it's not bad. It's good. It's sweet. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. Um so that's just something for you guys to try. Now, here's another thing. If you're building a loft and you are in the wintertime. I see people in Canada, they're putting plastic over the windows. I don't like the snow getting in. I don't like the snow getting in. They're putting plastic on the windows. I don't think plastic on the windows is good. I'm not talking about having a plastic slider, right, where there's air getting in. I'm talking about getting plastic, clear plastic, that rolled out shit that you roll your Christmas tree in, or whatever it is. You roll that out over your windows and over your thing. You staple it. Vlunk, vlunk, vlunk. You look like you're Clark W. Griswold on the roof, stapling the shit in. You got it stapled so tight that no air's getting in. Hell with all that shit. I'm going to show you something that I think is far better. Here it is. Another great tip. Another great thing I've seen from Manicocha. Now, you are going to have to invest a little bit of coin. But hey, what are you going to do with all this money when you die? Leave it to your kids? Your kids by that time are going to have so much money they don't need your shit. So use your money, man. Look. Here we go. Boom.
That's attractive.
Isn't that something?
It is.
Thank you. Ricky, what did you think of that?
So that screen is all vented as well, right?
Yeah, it's like a tarp, and it just
Or is it
rolls
like
up, rolls down, so
like
she
a
can.
just I know what you're saying, but a tarp is it airtight or it's vented with holes?
It's all
Like
got tiny holes,
holes like
tiny.
you know the shade tarps, tiny little holes.
I mean, tiny.
So the
Like
air goes through that.
the air can
Yeah.
come through,
And I
but
think mainly she's got mainly I think she's got it there for so the birds that are outside won't be able to be distracted from birds that are inside. And at the
Right.
same time, they've got air ventilation going through it. Like a
But
shade, what do you call it?
but
It's like a shade cloth,
right, but it cuts down on the
right?
direct wind blowing through, blowing in. It's a breaker. It does two things. But what's so great about it is you just look, she just did this. I mean, Anik, she's a small little woman. Take a look at the size of that. That thing was 45 feet long. Right?
Yeah,
Now,
I think it's a very good idea.
a very good idea, easy done if you have a front
Now,
of a
does
loft.
she use, can I ask you a question? Does
Go ahead.
she darken her young birds as well?
Mm. She darkens, but not with those. But yes, she does darken.
Because that material looks like it almost could be a darkening material plus letting air in.
You know what?
Am I right or wrong?
I would. That loft was facing the east. I'd like to go in there in the morning, but I'm almost betting you, if you were willing to try it, I bet you it would work. I bet you it would work. It would be just
Yeah,
dark
I
enough.
know what you're saying, but if you can answer the question, was that also used for darkening?
No, no, no.
And the sun that comes up from the east does not give that same sun that comes up in the afternoon the same heat.
Well, I'll tell you, if your loft did face the east and you lighten your birds in the morning at 6 a.m., you bring them in by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock the latest, okay, 10 hours of daylight. When you put them in that room, it would totally be dark enough. I know that for a fact. And I'll play the video one more time because it's just a quick video and just take a look.
And that screen has little holes in it. What do they call it? Perforated?
Boom.
That's attractive.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So you see the wood through it and the drinkers, but not much. Thank you. Just for
So that means it does let air in.
It lets air in. But did you see how big the area was? And literally, she didn't have electric. Within 5 seconds, the whole thing's open. I like that.
Yeah. Now, as far as darkening goes, since you brought that to my mind, anyone in this area here, we're getting up to now almost 12 hours of daylight per day. And if you're going to be darkening, now's the time to start.
Well, actually, I was thinking because our clocks here in
Now,
Belgium, they haven't changed. They haven't changed yet. And it was funny. I was talking to Dirk Leekens and I said, "Oh, are your young birds on the dark?" And he said, "No, not till the clocks change here." And I said, "Oh yeah." And I
so you're still
forgot.
an hour. You're an hour behind us.
Yeah. So that's
You're an hour
why.
behind us.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I said to you, "Oh, your clocks change." You got to put those birds on the dark, right? If you hatch them December the 20th, the babies hatch. You band them on the 1st. You just leave them in there. When you wean them, put them in the young bird section and leave them with natural light. Don't put light bulbs on, just a natural daylight. Up
100%.
until you have to turn the clocks here in the spring. Then right away, into the dark. That's a little less work. Now,
100%.
you keep the birds also.
Lily.
Yes. I know
I
Lily.
brought her in. She was hatched in January. She hasn't been in the dark. She's in the showroom. She's in a show cage right by the window. She's falling apart right now. That means she has been naturally dark with no, some people say, okay, I got youngsters in January. They put them right in the dark. It's totally, I think, harming the birds better than doing any good. They're going to get naturally darkened. I've got other birds that they hatch in February and they're falling apart right now, naturally darkened. So now's the time for Lily, for example, and I can actually bring her in and show you how she's molting, and how she's developed. Uh, if you want to darken her, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should. When the time in Southern Ontario, that's the time you put them on the dark. Now, if you're just weaning youngsters now, you're going to put them right away into the dark. If you wean them in May, you're going to put them into the dark when you wean them. So if you're a ding dong, not a ding dong in a bad way, if you're a guy who breeds in January, you don't have to take them from the nest and put them into the dark. What you're going to do is, normally you got lights on for your breeders. Your lights are going to be on probably 14 hours. So when you wean those little youngsters, they're in a 14-hour daylight system, 15-hour daylight system. Some guys leave the lights on 24 hours, which is whatever. As soon as you take them out of that breeding loft and you put them into the young bird loft, and you just leave Mother Nature do the lights, her lights, they will instantly fall apart like machines.
That's right. Now, why do we want them to fall apart? For some people that don't understand what we're talking about, if you could explain that just for a minute. I know why, but I'd like you to explain it.
It's so nice of you to get me to explain it. Why do you darken? You darken the pigeons so they molt their body, all the feathers, the head, the body, everything. They change all those feathers out. They put new feathers in. And because you're playing trickery, you teach them to hold the flight feathers. So the wings are full. So when they're active and they're racing, they're supposed to have 10 flights when racing. Most of the time they'll have a whole wing. So they have 10 full flights. The other thing is it sexually matures them a bit. The little bit of a downfall is it makes them a little bit like late breds, a little bit dumb. So you got to be a little more lenient and get them educating. I said today to Bosman and Leakins, at what age do you train your pigeons? And he said, well, quite simple. It's not 8 weeks old. It's not 12 weeks old. It's not 16 weeks old. And it's not 20 weeks old. I said, well, when is it? When they're let them out, they disappear for 30 minutes and they come back. They disappear for 15 minutes and they come back. They disappear for 35 more minutes and they come back. Once they ramble, they train. So there's no time. The pigeons tell them when it's going to be time to train. So guys, here's a question. How old do you train them? Once they're rambling. Now, the first day you see them ramble away and come back, give yourself a week to 10 days of it. That's it. Make sure you catch them doing it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then say, hey, now I can get you in the basket. Now I can get you going.
Get this one. I had 2 pair of youngsters that I raised. They were very late. I'm talking about, like, you get so you can't even remember. They were hatched out in October. Okay. 2 pair of youngsters. I weaned them healthy as can be. I put them right away into a section with a fly pen. I couldn't let them out because the hawks would pick them off in the winter. Winter was starting and I couldn't let them out. Snowy, whatever. I didn't let them out. I just said, hey, park in there. I shouldn't even have you. Park in there. Had a fly pen. They were out in the sun. If there was sun, they were out. They were out in the fly pen, whatever they were doing. Never loft flew. never loft flew, never went out. I let them out, let's say about 3 weeks ago. The two pair, I let them out from the fly pen. They've been in there all winter looking out, looking around, looking around. I let them out right away, 3 of them of the 4. They went up, they flew, they took right off the roof, they were gone. I never seen them again. They were gone. They just went out of sight. Okay, here's the story. I got one left. And you will not believe it. This pigeon now is let her out. She's loft flying by herself. She's taking off across the sky. She's gone for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Comes back, it's a hen. Comes back by itself, lands. She's showing me she wants to ramble. I call it ramble. She wants to go, but she's by herself. It's incredible. I can see exactly what she's doing. She's showing me it's time. She's ready to train, but she's by herself. I'm just saying that's how, and it's amazing. The nest mates or the partners, how I let them out that one day they just took off the roof, just like gone. Never seen a feather.
Right. And
that's a true story by Loft manager Ricky.
And guys, that's why sometimes it's good to play with pigeons. Playing with pigeons. Don't tell your friends in your club. They'll laugh at you and they'll make fun of you and whatever. But if you want to know what it's like, try it out. It's a fun thing. In North America, a lot of, maybe I shouldn't say North America. I'll say in our area. I see guys that breed pigeons in January. They got a great group of pigeons. They're beautiful. You go over there in March, they're beautiful. They're cooing already, the youngsters. They're already that old. They've never been let out. And then they say, boy, we had some bad tosses because you allowed them to get stupid. Here in Belgium, basically the first rounds are out fairly damn quick. There's no sitting in the loft for 2 months getting stupid. I promise you this. The birds educate quick. So if you're going to leave your birds locked up for 2 or 3 months, I don't even recommend breeding that early. Yes, they're going to look big. Yes, they're going to look strong. Yes, they're going to make you feel good. But what you've done is you've made yourself feel good, but you've not given them the education to get up and go. And that's why out of 4 youngsters, 3 of them pissed off the roof. Big, strong, Ophi, and dumb. Now, we got some comments coming in. I'm going to show a pigeon because
okay,
that's
but let me just get into what you're saying now. So I would say in this area, you're better off to put your birds together later. Like I just put my group together, 10 days ago.
Wait a minute.
And that way, soon the youngsters come out.
Basically, what you want to do,
right?
Whatever area you're in, you want to be able to breed your pigeons. And when you wean the youngsters, maybe have them in the loft for a week to 10 days before you can open them up. But then you want to have them open so they can go out every day and play and learn and play and learn and ride the bike quick. The quicker they ride the bike, the quicker the brain works. The quicker the brain works, everything works together. And the evolution is in perfect sync. Perfect sync. Now, I got some comments, Ricky.
I understand, but let's make it clear that in certain areas, for example, here
we don't have to.
You can't. Those youngsters, you can't let them out here in this area in January or in February,
Richard,
because they're young, they're healthy. The hawks scare them. You're done.
This is an international show. Everyone's on a different timeline. Pick your timeline to when you can let them out successfully. That's what I'm saying. I need you to read between the lines. I'm not going to spoon feed you people. Read between the lines. When you visit these breeders, you've got to read between the lines.
Excuse me one excuse me one moment. Is that like saying think outside the box?
Yeah,
Or is
that's
that
why you
different?
get Velcro shoes and crisscross them. Think outside the box. Can I get to the comments, Ricky? Hold on. So, David Tracy, I got about 7 comments to read. David Tracy says, Philip and Nicholas Norman seem like real super class people. You'll never meet more classy pigeon flyers in your life. I'll guarantee you that one. Mike Green says, I like both the pairs, quality birds. Mike, I hope you can get a pair. Steve Collins says, was good seeing that seed sprout. They loved it. Guys, Steve Collins was on the Pigeon Boss tour. Anik took the time to show this, eh? She didn't have to, but she did. Billy from Texas says, Billy, are you getting into one Loft race? What's going on, Billy? You're from the U.S. You can come on and play here. It's true. When your young birds don't do as good in their first old bird season, but the second year, the old bird season, they do a lot better. I think sometimes pigeons are learning at a different rate a little bit. I think sometimes super young birds, as a young bird, they dip off as a yearling. You might lose them. You might see the performance goes off for a year. Then you get discouraged and you do something stupid and you get rid of it. Really, what that bird needs is maybe a little rest, and then you see it comes back as a 2-year-old a lot better. We got more comments. Mike Parrish says, I walk into the loft with headphones on. They freak out. Forgot they were in my head. Yeah, well, if they're not used to it, there you go. I like birds that has good quality. That's hard to see good quality. You got to feel it. You got to look at it in the pedigree. Mike Vandriak, he's always got a good
You,
comment. So let's see what Mike says. Mike's come back with 2 comments. Mike says, when I have young birds that stand out as my best birds, it is also generally great as a yearling. Okay, that can be too. That can be too. Mike Vandriak also says,
well,
pigeons
wait a minute. If I can stop right now, that's a man that can see. Uh, he sees something. He sees. It's like sometimes you see a bird that doesn't look right. You see it. Maybe someone else doesn't see it, but they give you that kind of look. It never turns out right. But like what Mike's saying, he sees. He could see the quality because he has experience.
right,
He sees that
right,
ability.
right.
You
Now,
understand what I'm saying? And
yeah,
not every person can see that.
right. And in the same token, and
Hello? Yeah.
I think Mike will agree. You can have okay youngsters. They're not the best ones, but they're not the worst ones, and they turn out to be very good yearlings or 2-year-olds, or yearlings and 2-year-olds. You will see sometimes very good young birds that take a dip, and then come back as a yearling maybe with 1 or 2 good performances, but they weren't like they were as a young bird. I think I think it's a bit of wear and tear. Then they come back up again. Now, uh, Mike Vandriak also says,
Now, let me cut in here. A lot of times, I've looked at a young bird, healthy as can be, and there's something about it I just don't like. There's something that just says you are not going to be what I'm looking for, and I've so many times been true. It doesn't turn out. I don't know why. Is it an ESP I have or something? But I go, oh, there's something. You bother me. There's something about it. You just don't have it. You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna do it. And if I give it that chance, it never will. I don't know what other people think.
what you just said was 100% right. If you don't like it, remove it. You remove it how you want, remove it. When you have an ESP, follow it. It's when you're buying pigeons. You like the breeder, you like the birds, you have a good feeling through the whole package, Go out and invest. Now, do your homework.
Now, what does Mike say? What does Mike think about what I just said?
I don't
Is
know.
Mike out there?
Can I get to these comments, please? You're really cutting my grass today, Rick.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
Pigeons, Mike Vanderyak says, pigeons recognize human faces. It doesn't matter what you wear in the loft. Well, Mike, I know it doesn't matter what you wear in the loft, Mike, but guess what I'm going to tell you? They recognize your face, and you normally wear the same plaid coat and blue jeans, right, Mike? I want you to wear that stupid hat you wore when you were in Spring Hill, Florida. You know the big one? That one. You know, the big one. And I'm not attacking you. Wear that in your loft. Hold on. I'm not finished.
I know what.
I know what Mike's saying, but you wear that in
Right.
your loft, and I know they know your face, Mike. But you know what they're going to look at you like? What in the hell you bring in here? So just stick to the same roughly outfits. Don't, hey, you see, Richard, if he wears his sunglasses when in the morning when he gets up and he puts the sunglasses on, and he walks in the backyard, and the pigeons always see him with the sunglasses. He can go into the loft, and he's feeding with his sunglasses on. It's the same. It's okay. Now, can I
They
get to the
always
comments?
know my voice. I come in and I say hello, hello,
Richard,
hello,
I
hello,
don't
good morning,
need,
hello.
I
do
know,
all
I
this shit.
understand. I understand that. But if you're wearing a stupid hat that Mike wore and you never wore it in, go on in and say hello, hello, hello. You know what they're
No,
going
but if
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. I know Mike's saying they know your face, but I do believe they know your outfit. And the other thing they know your movement. They know how